the players are going to get smarter. They're going to have better micro. They're going to have better timing. So you have to anticipate for that. I mean, it's kind of a shock. The first time you go ahead and play a ladder game versus like a level 40, you know, and you're still a noob, but your L got pretty high because you just beat up a whole bunch of other noobs, or you tower rushed, or you know, cheesed some good players, and you get high level, you'll realize very quickly that their units seem a lot stronger than yours for some reason. Yeah, I'll get back to that in a second. But right now, if you'll notice, I didn't choose to town portal. This is an interesting choice on my point, and I more or less stand by it. It's really annoying currently, the situation I'm in, because I'm losing peasants, and he has all this fucking ghouls all up in my face, and it's really annoying. But ultimately, the main thing to keep in mind here is that if I would have burned my town portal, it offers me little chance to harass later. I want to harass as much as I can, not just a little bit. Like, later on I'm going to try and run in and kill Akos, and I'm really going to try and fuck with them, if I'm thinking of the right replay, which I may or may not be. And, you know, you need your town portal for shit. It's important. Here, he has a micro error, he was more or less looking away, and I end up snagging a DK kill. Whenever you kill a DK early like this, you need to push the advantage. DK can coil acolytes. If you can't coil acolytes, 5 foots, you can suicide that shit and just rape it. Like, really, honestly, it's not extraordinarily difficult. And, you know, and if you cancel Akos or kill his shop before his Destro research, before he hits tier 3, you know, you can cause a lot of damage. If you scout a Destro push and he's not tier 3 yet, you kill his shop, GG, you know, no obsidian statues, no Destro push. Like, you know, so it's really important to just be realistic and try and push the advantages you have. Right now, I'm just trying to kill these obsidian statues because I'm pretty much sacrificing my army. I'm not microing barely at all. I'm just using all my DPS to focus. The reason is I'm trying to just be really aggressive and buy a lot of time for myself, because the fact of the matter is I still don't have enough towers to beat even 2 or 3 destroyers. So I need to tower up quite a bit more. I have a good amount of lumber, but I'm trying not to lose my AM, because oftentimes you'll look away and then your AM will be surrounded. It sucks ass, and if you don't have towers at that point, you pretty much lose. So you really got to be paying attention to what your Archmage is doing. And also, in terms of ghoul versus AM foots micro, as soon as you hit level 3 on your AM, get waters out. Once you have your waters, just focus the ghouls. Focus the DK if he runs into the middle of your foots or some shit. But other than that, really, there's no sense in doing anything else. If you focus the Lich, he's just going to get coiled. Really, it's a very smart decision to just focus the ghouls and stats. Like, if you look, I have my water just focusing the stat, and it forces the DK to either use a coil or fight with a low HP destroyer. Both things beneficial to me, ultimately. I think I go about 17 guard towers in this game, which is probably about what I needed. I probably needed 2 less at my main, and a little better positioning at my main, to be honest. He's still going to go for the Destro push. At this point, it's not like there's much he can do. While I do have late towers, it doesn't really matter. 3 towers is enough to stop this little crappy Destro push that I harassed the shit out of. Yeah, so now I say, just to be honest with you, I expected Fiends way sooner because his name was just Fiends, so I actually researched Defend really early. Yeah, I'm a dumbass, I didn't scout correctly, so I was like, whatever, I'm assuming he's going Fiends, his name's just Fiends. Here, I notice, pretty much, I want to chase him away, and if I just have my AM, he's really not going to be that much more frightened of my army than he would be with, you know, AM plus towers, and it's a lot more scary with AM mercs towers because you can slow units and you just have more DPS, and like it's very easy to focus. If you look now, I'm just gonna focus the shit out of his DK and he TPs because, you know, towers and just focus your whole army in their DK. If you push the DK back, then immediately focus a destroyer, you can sometimes get it before they have a chance to coil. I mean, sometimes there's lag on BNet, so you can get away with that kind of shit. No matter how you slice it, it's good stuff. Now if you look at my main, I started my tech to tier 3 and made 2 Sanctum. I probably, in retrospect, should have gone 2 Sanctum, waited tech to tier 3, just so I would have had more lumber, and maybe produced an extra couple of peasants. That probably would have been a lot better. However, I wasn't really thinking at the time, first time I've ever done the strategy, so I wasn't absolutely positive. Now, a very elementary point here, if you'll notice the camps were creeping, any point in a game like this, go for the middle camp your opponent isn't creeping, because they'll give you level 2 on a hero, and it's sort of an elementary rule of Warcraft. If you know your opponent's creeping a green, you should creep an orange. If your opponent's creeping an orange, creep a bigger orange. If your opponent's creeping, you know, a red, you know, creep jack him if you can't creep a red yourself, like, or harass him or something. Like, you gotta one-up your opponent. Like, that's a lot of what Warcraft is about, is always that one-up. You do something, I'll do something better. You do something, I'll do something better. And really, what that ends up with, what you end up with, is really a fast-paced, awesome game of Warcraft, because you're constantly trying to one-up each other. Harassment, there's a lot of different types of advantages in Warcraft, and you know, Oxlov covered this in an article he recently wrote, and I really do recommend that article to anyone who's either just beginning or doesn't really know the fundamental basics of the advantage system, like how advantages and disadvantages are created. Right now, I'm gaining a creeping advantage. You see, I know I have towers on my main, and I know he's going to slaughter peasants because I placed my towers like a dumbass. I should have put like 6 towers up there by my peasants, and I would have been fine, but now I know for next time, by the way. And my tech to tier 3 is almost done, so I'm going to be able to remake the peasants. Main thing I'm doing though, I know those peasants are gone no matter what. If I TP in, what good is it really going to do, realistically? I'm going to bolt his DK, and he's going to run. And then after he runs, that's it. So right now, I'm just going to gain a creeping advantage. I have a level 3 MK now, and, you know, I've started my Paladin. Once my Paladin comes out, I'm going to try and creep him to a higher level. I'm starting my Gryphons and Breakers, and I'm just trying to get my army together. That's really important. Like, if you know the undead player really can't make that much progress in your base, all he's doing is slaughtering peasants. Okay, you know what? It's really annoying, but what's better? Keeping to your base and chasing them away so that they can come back and pick off your mercs and then possibly get a hero kill or some bullshit? Or just not even risking it. I mean, I can just go Breaker and Griffin and build up an army and then TP in later once my army's a little bigger, because realistically he's not going to be able to kill that many units. And ultimately what I'm doing now is I'm not even gaining that much of an advantage. What's happening is he's killing my base and I am just creeping out all the camps on his side of the map. Peasants don't give as high HP as creeps. Sorry to break it to this undead player. The main thing really is that the reason I'm doing these particular camps that I was is entirely for the sole 100% purpose of creeping out his camps so he can't creep them later. Really, that's all it is. Alright, so now I noticed DK's HP because he's been at my base a really long time. And this is what will happen. The longer you're away from the base, the more cocky people get. And now I go, okay, I'm going to wait for my MK, I'm going to send my MK in first, I'm going to fucking hammer the shit out of that DK. And I'm pretty sure I get a Death Knight kill here. I don't see how I wouldn't. Bam. Dead Death Knight, that's that. Now I have an army that can sufficiently rape fiends, and I get another hero kill here. Because once the DK is gone, no aura on Lich, no coil, Lich is dead. So yeah, that's that. If you see how excellent my timing was, I waited very consciously for the DK to be low HP. That was not a mistake, it wasn't a guess. Every time my DK ran to my base, I tried to focus it and whittled down his HP. He didn't have a TP. I sent too much green in this one. Yeah, I meant greed, because he just sort of kept trying to slaughter my base, but he kept getting fucked. Okay, so later on in this game, I do get kind of fucked over, simply on the level that I lose all 3 of my heroes, oops, but that happens when you're not careful. The main thing to note is this scout farm right here. I know where he is, okay? And I'm not ready to fight him. My army's not ready. I need like 3 more Griffins. It's just stupid. I don't know why I'm even going to try, but I think I'm going to go and fight him. You know, the main reason the strategy works is because you're ignoring the DPS of the destroyers in favor of hero kills. If you have mass tower, really it's irrelevant how many destroyer they have, because they're really never going to be able to do it. Like, never be able to kill you. Because you're always going to have enough towers and everything to where the destroyers aren't going to do much to your main, and you could always hide behind your tower, so it really doesn't matter. And ultimately, the destroyers have the DPS of a rifle